Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Haiza Alyssa Binti Abdul Wahab and I'm from PHM 1113B1 Hotel and Tourism Management. Today I would like to present the introduction about elephant riding in tourism. First and foremost, elephant riding is very common and popular in tourism industry, especially in the Asia continent such as Thailand, Vietnam and also Cambodia. Nowadays, people have been taking advantage of these jobless elephants to fulfill their enjoyment of tourists by allowing visitors to walk among the elephants and ride on them. It is the kind of entertainment where it shouldn't be used against animals because it is very cruel and very abusive, whereby all elephants deserve protected reserve with minimal contacts along with restrict the time of observation and give the elephant space by observing it from afar. That's the least we can do. We are normalizing these kind of things for the purpose of entertainment and experience, which are wrong because we are not realizing that we are actually forcing the animals to work for us. Businesses and owners out there making money and benefits from this by letting the elephants to work under pressure and force knowing that they are not capable to do so. There has been several cases around the world on how the elephant has been dying due to the exhaustion of working in the tourism industry. It even got worse during the dry season, where the elephants still have to work and grew weak each day from lack of food sources, along with the brutality they have to face, where some of the elephants are being separated from their mothers and also from their family members to be isolated, starved, beaten just to let them break their emotions and spirits to act and perform their job. How sad. Therefore, it is important to spread awareness and normalize educating one another about the situation that is seldom addressed in order to let people know how badly that the animal and the reputation of these tourism industry are affected by these things. All in all, elephant rides are bad for the elephants itself and for the environment because they deserve so much more and animals are not used for entertainment. That's it from me now, moving on to the next presenter. Hi there again, moving on to the new topic, which is what makes operators use elephant ride in the first place. There are a few reasons on why businesses and operators use elephant on their business. First thing first, the reason why certain companies conducted elephant riding in the first place was because they receive a lot of money in this activity in exchange for pressuring or punishing the elephant to work all day without supplying enough quantities of food sources to hold their energy up or survive. It is not something that is quite familiar in all places. Therefore, elephant camps in Thailand take these advantages to promote at the tourists to let them gain that experience without realizing things that they are doing are actually cruel and abusive towards animal. Second thing is the procedure has been continued by operators in Thailand because it is a long-standing accepted tradition in Thai culture known as pajan or elephant crushing. It is a method of shattering the spirits of the elephant and destroying their souls by separating the baby elephant with their mother to the will of the humans who have captured them. The entire process was generally orchestrated by shamans of the tribe who concentrated on freeing the spirit of the elephant from their body and then allowing the human being to fully own their bodies. Yet, this is not an excuse to keep on riding. Last but not least, lack of awareness. I believe there are still people out there who operate this kind of business without knowing the consequences to have put towards the animals and towards the tourism industry. This kind of issue did not receive the kind of attention as it should because the misleading information about elephant riding. There are still people out there thinking it is not something cruel because they have been sugarcoating with lies, but little did you know the elephants have been suffering in pain just to perform their job. In conclusion, elephant riding should be banned at all costs to protect this kind of species, and we must normalize to educate one another on this kind of issue just to let people realize that it is inhuman things to do. Instead, we could do proper activities such as allowing the tourists to socialize with the elephants by giving them the experience to feed the elephants or to touch and play with the trunks because biology said that they are smart and just like humans where they love being surrounded and hugs. Thank you, that's it from me, and moving on to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Sharifah Athirah binti Syed Muhamad Saufir. I will proceed to the next topic, which is the impact of elephant as tourism transport on environment. Firstly, the extinction of elephants. We should ban elephant as tourism transports because they are being forced to carry people and it is not their natural behaviors. They are being forced through violent practice which they will be beaten by the man. Because of that, those elephants will become more extinction. Secondly, is detrimental to the elephant's health. It is because the elephants need to stand on a concrete floor and have to be trained to let tourists ride them. This will result in years of mistreatment. As we saw, they look like they can handle the weight of the tourists easily, but the reality is that the riding and the entertainment of tourists have negative health impacts for them. Other than that, they are also being kept chained when they are not working after the trekking. They are not fed enough or given enough water. This will cause a really bad impacts on their health. Next, affect the elephant's mental. It is because they are being taken away from their mother at a young age. After that, they will be confined into a small place, then being abused with a bull hooks and bamboo sticks is spiked with nails. They are also being starved and deprived of sleep in order to crush their spirit and become submissive to humans. Through my research, the elephants look swaying, passing, and bobbing their heads off trekking camps. These are the signs of serious psychological stress. As conclusion, we should ban this kind of activities so that we can save these animals and help them so that they will not be abused. By this, we also can let the elephants live their life happily as a normal animals. Next is about whether elephants ride is good or bad for tourism and environment. In my opinion, of course, it is not good. It is bad for the elephant health, their social interactions, and also their living conditions. Firstly, is about the elephant health. The elephants will have permanent spinal injuries. It is because the elephant spines cannot support the weight of people. Other than that, they will also have complication having a chair which is called howdah attached to their backs, it causing blisters that can become infected. In addition, wear and tear on the elephant's feet after long-term trekking can cause foot infections and injuries. Secondly is about their social interactions. Elephants are not like humans. They socialize, have families and friends, feel pains and sorrow, happiness. When they are in a trekking camps, they are often not engaging with other elephants. In some camps, they live their life essentially in a solitary confinement, this causing the lack of interaction with other elephants. Lastly is about the elephants' living conditions. Baby elephants are chained to their mothers during treks, which this can cause them harm as they need to keep pace with their mother as she walking. Other than that, these baby elephants also can't stop to rest or nurse as they must continue trekking. To keep the pace, the guide, which called as manhot, will prod the elephants with a bull hug to keep them moving. The bull hug, which elephants remember from their torture during the pajaan, can immediately strike fear in them. This fear can trigger a reaction that not only hurt the elephants but also the riders. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Fatin Sahira Binti Rosli. I will continue regarding recommendation to improve society well-being in elephant ride. In order to help the elephant in society well-being, people need to aware about how and why we must preserve elephant from being used. We divide the recommendation into three important parts. The first is tourists. The second is recommendation on what sanctuary should do. And lastly, the third is recommendation for government and non-government organization to help. Okay, now we proceed to what recommendation can tourists do. The first point is ethically treating elephants. Tourists should know what kind of food that can be used to feed the animals. For example, like fruits, sugarcane, and small plants. The second point is avoid riding elephant, even though the service is provided. The third point is volunteering. Tourists can spend their leisure time directly interact with the elephant in voluntary program. Lastly, the fourth point is avoid circus show. Tourists should boycott circus shows that involve animals like elephant. Okay, now we move to what sanctuary itself should do. We also recommend sanctuary to participate in maintaining the elephant well-being. For example, sanctuary can provide volunteering programs. This program can attract more people to participate. Next is guided animals feeding activities. A worker should present and conduct tours on how to feed the elephant properly. And moreover, sanctuary also can guide animal bathing activities. For instance, trained workers and trained workers should help and guide volunteers to do these activities. In addition, sanctuary should have well-educated and trained workers. Sanctuary management should hire experienced worker to manage the sanctuary. Lastly, government and non-government organizations must play an important role to protect the elephant well-being. First is teach kids about importance of wildlife. In school or public institution, teachers need to teach kids about preserving wildlife such as elephant is very important. Other than that, government and NGOs related can create animal adoption project to support the animals' well-being. Actually, the purpose of elephant ride and circus show is to make profit to feed the elephant itself. Hence, by creating adoption program, it will help to financially support the elephants. Next, campaign and educate public about saving endangered animals such as elephant are things that can be done by governments and NGOs. This will help public realize the importance to preserve the animal society well-being. Last but not least, wildlife offender will be charged. Government should tighten the rules and regulations for wildlife offender. They may be charged for imprisonment or even needs to pay fines. In conclusion, wildlife animals is nature's treasure. Nowadays, many sanctuaries often provide animal circus show and rides for visitors. Tourists often thought that riding animals can be thrill adventure while animal show are fun. However, no one should treat animals cruelly as these endangered animals are part of our mother nature. Please everyone, say no to elephant rides. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you for lending me your ears.